Instead of thinking I don't matter because my life is too hard for some reason, and so it's okay for me to do whatever that I want without caring, because my life is so, messed up, and like, who cares now? And so I will not care about, you know, wasting my time because who cares now? Like, my life is already screwed up, and there's no turning back, or it doesn't matter, or it's already bad, or it's very hard. So now I get the chance to enjoy wasting my time without feeling any guilt because of it. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. Instead of this, try saying, I matter, and I'm important, and my life is important, and I get to not waste it, and I get to make the most out of it. And that's why I'm going to do what I love and what I want. And that's why I shouldn't be wasting my time doing nothing, or doing, trivia, or give up on doing anything that makes me feel good. You want to say that since you don't matter, your time doesn't matter, and so whatever decision that you will make as to what you're going to do at the moment will never be wrong. So any decision will be like okay, because if the this time it doesn't matter, any decision in it will never be wrong. So now you get to not struggle with picking the best thing to do at the moment, and now you have the luxury of doing whatever you want. So now you have the freedom and luxury to pick whatever that comes to mind and just do it, because your time don't matter. And this is because you are saying that you yourself don't matter, because your life is so hard, or messed up, or screwed up, or like life is hard for you for any reason. Instead of this, think you are really important and you matter, and that's why you don't want to waste your time. And that's why you don't want your time to be a total waste of time. And so you gotta avoid the whole day being wasted without you ever doing what you really wanted. So instead of wasting your time making a decision, you'll just go with anything because you know that this is better than doing nothing at all. So you end up educating yourself and understanding that a random decision, even a below average one, even a mediocre decision, is better than no decision at all when it comes to what should I do today to have the best day ever. So instead of struggling to make the right decision or the best decision, just keep things moving in order to avoid wasting time. And why would you want to avoid wasting time? Because your time matters, because you are important. Since you matter, your time will also matter. So the thought of wasting your time doing nothing will be like outrageous, unacceptable. So you have to fill your time with stuff all the time. You will never be okay with wasting your time and doing nothing all day long. So you'll have to do something in order to avoid doing nothing, because your time is important. You'll have that sense of urgency. Like, why are you rushing things? Why are you always in constant motion and doing stuff? Because my time matters, because I'm important. I don't want to waste my life. I want to do the best all the time, because I matter and I'm important. So you don't need to dilute your importance in order to get to do whatever you want, and have the freedom to run around all day long and do whatever that comes to mind, or do whatever you want. You don't have to dilute the importance of your time, because this leads to diluting the importance of yourself. And you don't want to go through this with its, consequences of low self-esteem and, sense of worthlessness. You don't have to go through that pathway just to be able to do whatever you want. There is another pathway that does not mess up with your self-esteem, which is doing the exact opposite. Since you're important, your time matters, and then you will never be okay with wasting it. And since doing nothing at all is the ultimate total waste of time, you will want to avoid this by just keeping things moving, by just doing anything rather than nothing. And then you will be okay with picking mediocre choices and making bad decisions, because they will always be better than doing nothing at all. Because waiting until you can arrive at the best decision ever, or making the right decision, might actually end up making you waste 2 hours, 3 hours without, making the most out of your time. So now you will become okay with doing, whatever you want and mediocre stuff and making bad decisions and doing stuff that is not the best use of your time and doing stuff that is not the best thing that you can do today and doing stuff that is not the best choice that you can pick right now because you don't want the alternative, which is doing nothing. And you did nothing because you were trying to figure out what's the best idea ever to spend today on, or the best choice ever, or the best decision. So you're obsessed with making the right decision or the best decision as to how should I spend my time today. And that's why you don't want to do just anything just to keep things moving. But you will be able to just do whatever that comes to mind just to keep things moving because you are trying to avoid a negative, which is having your time totally wasted. And since you're important, your time matters. You don't want to end up doing nothing. So you will always be okay with keeping things moving by doing even something that is 10% right, 5% right, as opposed to someone who either does a decision that is 100% the best decision ever, or they will end up doing nothing at all. Because you don't want to do nothing. So you'll end up making very below average decisions. You will end up making bad decisions, but you will keep picking something to do with just to keep moving and fill your day with stuff that is okay, not even above average, just okay, fine, to stay alive and stay happy and stay being able to do what you want whenever, because that in and of itself, that freedom gives you a happiness that comes from overall doing what I want whenever I want it, even if the content of what I did wasn't the best thing ever to be done in an hour or in a day. So start thinking as important. You are important and you matter. Start thinking of yourself that you matter, and because of that, you can do whatever you want, even if it is not the best decision. At least it was a decision. The goal is to keep things moving and to keep yourself in constant motion and constant doing and action mode in order to avoid the emptiness of doing nothing and having wasted your life, or the feeling of, man, years are passing by and I haven't lived. Avoid that at all costs. That is the worst that can happen. You are trying to avoid nothingness, and that's why you're in constant motion. There's nothing wrong with this. You're not empty, and you're not someone who cannot fill themselves from within. All this doesn't apply to you.